I have hosted and I've participated in a number of forums in my district and around the state having to deal with the heroin epidemic. Every person who testified at our forums and at our hearings, every person who testified spoke to marijuana being a gateway drug. Every one of them. And here we are. A month ago in the Health Committee, when this bill was presented, I voted no. And I voted no because of my concerns, and real concerns, as expressed by so many parents and so many healthcare providers, that heroin addiction, that child who died as a result of their introduction to addiction through marijuana. The bill we have before us today has evolved considerably since then. And I think it's a testament to the deliberative nature of this body, that we have an opportunity to get together, to discuss issues, and to be thoughtful. Now, we've heard a lot today about leadership. Leadership is not about sound bites. Leadership is not about catchy titles to bills. Leadership is about reading the bill, understanding the contraindications, understanding the risks involved, and being able to come to a thoughtful decision. So here we are today. The bill we have before us today addresses issues I believe are critically necessary to a thoughtful approach, to providing some relief to people who desperately need it, and we're all aware of that, but at the same time, drawing the line and not allowing for recreational use or expansion of recreational use and the expansion of that gateway drug. It's critically important. It is critically important that we are no longer talking about the sale of leaf and plant, but we're talking about other forms of marijuana that are going to provide therapeutic and palliative relief without expanding the opportunity for it to be abused, for it to be passed on, and for it to get into the hands of those who should not have it. I'm also concerned about dosage requirements, and I want to see clarity through regulations that when this is administered, when we do allow for it, and when this is finally in place, that there are dosage requirements that will clearly delineate not only the components of the marijuana, but also the method at which it will be administered. I want to see accountability. I want to see accountability by the medical professionals, the doctors who will be recommending its use. But I want it to be a targeted approach. This bill provides that kind of targeted approach, and I appreciate that, because we have been given the opportunity to vote on a bill that addresses those concerns in ways that the bill that was before the Health Committee just a month ago did not. You know, we across the state and on Long Island were dealing with this heroin epidemic, as I mentioned earlier. It affects everyone, and we need to balance our commitments to our communities, where literally last year in our communities on the island, over 120 kids died of heroin abuse, heroin overdoses, not to mention those that were brought back through naloxone and that were able to recover, but 120 died. Mr. President, I appreciate the fact that this bill strikes that balance. And I appreciate the fact that we're given the opportunity, because we were able to work together to put a bill that we could all support, or many of us could support, or at least that I could support. So I want to thank this body for working so well together across the aisle, as we should when it comes to critical needs like this, on a bill that's going to provide relief for those who need it, those who are on chemo, children who are fighting and dealing with the realities of epilepsy and seizures, parents and families that are coping with these chronic conditions. This bill will provide relief. So I will be supporting this bill. And I want to thank the sponsor, I want to thank the governor, and I want to thank my colleagues here for their efforts in bringing this together and affording us the opportunity to vote on a bill that is worthy of this body in a way that perhaps those that we were asked to vote on earlier were not. Thank you, Mr. President.